All right, welcome back. Okay, stretch. Let's give it a stretch. Okay. Okay. All right. So I put the laundry. It's in the dryer right now. So I'm almost done with that. I did a little bit of work on my side project, but I did some more research on a thing that I'm looking to get into this year. So if I can get it done like this month, that would be great. So we'll see. I gotta make some calls tomorrow, but right now I'm trying to do some research, so I'll be able to call and see what's up. All right, cool. So I wanted to talk about this thing I came across recently on the internet. I thought it was kind of interesting, and I wanted to talk about it. So here we go. This from GitHub, from their blog. I'm gonna copy and paste the link so you can check it out. It'll be next to the recorded video. And the title is Our Move to Generated SDKs. And I was like, oh, word? Because where I'm at, I'm on the tooling team, right? And so we have different developer advocates who work on the SDKs that the company uses. And so I thought this was kind of interesting, like, oh, generated SDKs? And so it goes to say GitHub SDKs, software generated meets hand curated. All right, cool. Nice little graphic there. And shouts to Nick Floyd. All right, here we go. And this came out January 3rd. So like really recently, because it is the 7th now. So like 4 days ago. All right, cool. So taking a leap, introducing our generated Go and .NET SDKs. We are excited to announce a significant shift in our approach to software development kits, or SDKs, at GitHub. Moving away from the static landscape of the traditional OctoKit, we are now shipping 2 generated SDKs using Kyoto. We'll take a look at that. One published in Go and the other in .NET. This marks a pivotal moment in our journey towards more dynamic, flexible, and user-friendly tools for our community. And so it's interesting to me because I actually use OctoKit and on a couple of projects, and it's either using OctoKit or hitting the GitHub REST API endpoint. And so I was using like the node thing. It was pretty cool. It was all right, and I can't complain. It worked. It did what it needed to do. But some of the stuff I forgot what it was I was doing, but I had to hit the endpoint itself to make it work or something. I don't remember. It was weird. But I was like, oh, okay. So they're looking to, they just published their SDK in Go and .NET. And I thought it was kind of interesting because, like I said, on our team, we have developers for like Python, PHP, and all these things, right? .NET. See, we don't have a Go person. So I wonder if that's kind of like the same situation, or maybe they don't have like a Go or a .NET person to solely spend time on working on the SDK. You know what I mean? Maybe they can just be like, hey, we'll just generate something, put it out there, and then maybe the community. So maybe they don't see a lot of adoption for their SDK in like .NET or Go. So maybe they could just like, all right, here's a starting point, and then the community can like mold it to their needs to make it, like official, but not actually official kind of thing. Maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe let's talk about it more. So why move away from our traditional OctoKit SDKs? So OctoKit has been an integral part of GitHub's ecosystem, offering a robust interface for interacting with GitHub APIs, right? However, as technology evolves, so should our tools. The new SDKs are not just seeing their new SDKs. So in this sense, about moving away. So do they mean like all the other SDK, like the node one that I use, is that going to be generated then? I'm not sure. But it goes to say the new SDKs are not just about generating code. They are about ushering in a new era of building and integrating with GitHub. By leveraging the generative approach, we will be able to provide immediate updates to models and APIs while also introducing new features to the SDK landscape. Okay, so it sounds like maybe like being able to like put resources into new update, like new features and fixing updates and stuff, instead of having to like just kind of go back and make sure things are still working. They'll be able to push it a lot quicker, maybe. I don't know. So why Kyoto? Developed by Microsoft, which owns GitHub, Kyoto is a command line tool that takes open API like specs. Because in my company we have open API like specs of our APIs, and so that way, like, it's like a standard basically. So you'll know what you're getting when you look at it, because if it does a thing, it'll be written a certain way. So you'll be able to understand what it does by looking at it if you know the open API specs. Yeah, and creates a clean SDKs based on those definitions. So like I said, there's only like one way to write open API specs. And so if you write your API using those specs, then everything is like one-to-one. And so that means that you'd be able to generate things from that one source of truth kind of thing. At least that's how I understand it. Again, I mostly do like a lot of front-end stuff, but I do deal with like APIs every once in a while. So this enables the generation of well-structured clients for a given API while allowing hand curation of the most esoteric needs of the SDK users. So like I was saying before, so it gives you like a good starting point, and then you can kind of like fine tune it to the way it's like a certain language kind of dictates, you know what I mean? And so after testing various other generative approaches, we opted for Kyoto as our generation engine. I wonder what other ones they used. Given its alignment with our goals to embrace modern, efficient, and versatile technology. Kyoto's ability to generate comprehensive idiomatic SDKs from GitHub's open API specification, see specs, well complements our vision for the future of GitHub integration. This ensures that our tools are not only powerful, but also intuitive and developer friendly. So like, I guess they could also, if there's ever any sort of random new server backend or something, then they wouldn't have to like figure it out. They could probably just, but that's the thing, like you'd have to have some sort of schema for that language. So you, like in this case, you would need some sort of Go or like a translator to be able to take it from there to there. You know what I mean? Like, because it may not just know what that language is. So you'd have to have some sort of translation to be like, oh, this is what it is in open API specs. This is what it is in Go or .NET. You know what I mean? Like how you're calling the endpoints or whatever. I don't know. Maybe we'll get more into that. Cool. So this ensures our tools are not only powerful, but also intuitive and developer friendly. And so the progress that we made so far would not have been possible without the amazing Kyoto team and all of the help they've given our OctoKit community. So it looked like I guess they kind of like test run it. They probably spoke with the OctoKit GitHub community, like, hey, try this out. How does this work? What do you think? Cool. So the Go and .NET SDKs. So yeah, so they look like they want to increase like the reach of their SDK, so broader and more diverse developer community. They're talking about Go and .NET. Cool. So this is pretty cool. So while the models that are generated are important and having nearly 100% REST API coverage, will remove usability roadblocks. Those accomplishments were never the end game. So they're saying it gets pretty close, but it's not like what they're trying to do. So our goal is to build SDKs that get the software out of the way of the developer so that we can all focus on user needs. That's basically why I do like the web components that kind of like use our SDKs. So that way developers don't have to worry about all like the minutia, like boilerplatey stuff. You know what I'm saying? To get like, for example, a video call working. I mean, because there's like publishers and subscribers. There's some code that you pretty much always write for the publisher and subscribers. I just kind of like extracted that, put it in a web component. So all you have to do is just put that tag into it and it does all that for you. You know what I mean? And so I can see what they're kind of saying, because like the way I think about it is that the video, like for example, the web component video call, the video API, right? In my mind, the video calling part is only like a small part of an overall application, right? It's not like the main thing of it. Could be, but in my mind, I want to make it easier that if it's just like a small part, like somebody just wants to be able to add video call to their existing app and want to do it easily, here's like a web component instead of having to go through and figuring out, okay, I need to create this element and then this listens for this thing. You don't have to do all that because it's not the main concern of your application. And so that's why I do the web components for whenever I can try. You know what I mean? So like the one I'm working on currently, it became kind of like a need I saw in the community. I'm like, I could probably help with that. And so I'm going to kind of like wrap it in a web component and we'll see. And so at least I'll have people I know that could try it in the community. Like, hey, you know that thing you're looking for? How does this work out for you? Kind of thing. So, yeah. So our goal is to build, is to build SDKs that get the software out of the way of the developer so that they can focus on needs. Okay, cool. By generating what is known, we will focus on the more interesting question of what is needed next. Okay. Yeah, because again, you just want to get rid of like all the stuff that's like easy to put out, just there. And then on top of that, when people use it, be like, oh, well, this is kind of weird or whatever. You know what I mean? So you can kind of like refocus and stuff, but it'll give you a good starting point, like I was saying. So yeah, these tools are a gateway to a new era of innovation and creativity with GitHub. The intent is to build SDKs that are designed to empower developers to build more robust, efficient, and creative solutions on top of the GitHub platform. All right. I need to talk about, joining them. So I want to talk about this Kyoto thing, which I've never seen before, and share this tab instead. So I'm going to add this, even though it's linked in the article. If you want to go directly to it, I'm going to add a link to this GitHub repo so you can check it out for yourself. It'll be next to the recorded video. And yeah, it's like, okay, so see, here's some of the stuff. So like, there's some, I guess, constructors and class names in Go that you need to be able to translate open API specs. You need some sort of translation like layer in Go so that it can spit out an SDK that Go would understand, right? And so I wonder if they have any of that stuff here. So there's a whole bunch. So there's like pipelines, dev containers, abstractions. Maybe it's under abstractions. There's authentication. Interesting. So yeah, so here you go. So here's all the different things. So the Kyoto abstractions. So I call that translation layer, but abstractions are language-specific libraries defining the basic constructs Kyoto projects need once an SDK has been generated from an open API definition. So yeah, so like the translation joint. Your project will need a reference to the abstraction package to build and run. The following languages are currently supported. So let me look at TypeScript. So they got .NET, Java, Go. What else do they have? Ruby, TypeScript, PHP, Python. All right, cool. So I'm trying to think, what else would there be? I'm trying to think. They said they have Java, they have PHP. I don't know. Is that all of them? I don't know. I'm sure there's some other ones I'm probably forgetting. All right, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so there's a JavaScript. You should have put the J in this. That's funny because they say JavaScript, but then they're like, oh, it's TypeScript. All right, library defined in basic. Yeah, we okay, pretty much read that. Okay, pretty much the same thing. So then, yeah, so you have to install the abstractions, which is here, and then you would then get, okay. So let's see what this looks like. So the source, authentication again. What's that under? Okay. Okay, anonymous. Okay, API key. Okay, so the different ways. Okay, and then if you have like a bearer token, like a JWT or something. All right, cool. So then, okay, this is all authentication. Let me see something. Let's see what's under utils. Well, let me see what's other stuff. Okay, so get parameter path. So headers. Let's look at headers. I'm interested in let's see what that says. Okay. Oh, they're using like the well, I mean, it's kind of like the inline, like the in the actual code commenting stuff. Oh, it's cool to see. All right. So this imports this thing here, case insensitive keys. What if you want case sensitive keys? All right. Cool. So then this is how you do it. So you construct the headers. Makes sense. And then you add the headers. Okay, makes sense. So I'm assuming maybe it just reads these things and it's like, oh, okay. Because there's a set. Kind of interesting. I may bring this up at work or something. Because like it said, because sometimes like the people on our team, they have to like fix stuff where it's like they have new features to add. You know what I'm saying? But so there's something that could like, but and I wonder, is it just like a one-time thing and then you build on top of it? Or is it something that can kind of like continuously take what you added, put it to the base, you know what I'm saying, to kind of refine it, and then you can pull again from that to build more on top of, right? Or is it just like I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I'm really just talking out my butt, but I thought it was cool that they generated a Go and .NET SDK from their open API specs, which I'm pretty sure is a thing that's already been like done for a minute. And so, yeah, so I might bring that up with the team and see what they think. All right, cool. I'm going to send you all off back to work. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to see y'all 15 minutes after the hour. Till then, I wish you much productivity. Where did this thing go to? And, oh, come on, stop. Why does it keep moving? I'm going to send you all off with some travel music. When we come back, we'll take a look at an artist's website. Maybe you'll become a fan, listen to some music, watch some videos. And yeah, but for right now, I'm going to send you all off with this Nujabes track featuring a Pawnee B. The track is called Thank You, because thanks for hanging out. And I will see you around 15 minutes after the hour. All right, y'all be easy. Thanks for hanging out, and peace.
But let me start from the heart. I just want to stay. I thank all for showing up to me. I appreciate this unique opportunity. I'm gonna rock so hard you never stop supporting me. I'm gonna show you how music is more meaning to life. I thank you all for showing up to me. I appreciate this unique opportunity. I'm gonna rock so hard you never stop supporting me. I'm gonna show you how music is more meaning to life. But let me start from the heart. I just want to stay. I thank you all for showing up to me. I appreciate this unique opportunity. I'm gonna rock so hard you never stop supporting me. I'm gonna show you how music is more meaning to life. I thank you all for showing up to me. I appreciate this unique opportunity. I'm gonna rock so hard you never stop supporting me. I'm gonna show you how music is more meaning to life. But let me start from the heart. I just want to stay. I thank you all for showing up.